we are talking today about multiplying binomials. So think back to what binomials are. They are terms, they are expressions that have two terms in them. So our learning target for today, we have one of them, and that learning target is to multiply two binomials, or we're going to do also one binomial times one trinomial. So that's our learning target. Make sure that is recorded and you're focusing on that one as we go along today. So we're going to start with that first part of the goal, multiplying two binomials together. So what I've got for you here is a picture of, yes, it is an elephant made out of foil. It's a foiled elephant. It's foil. It's an elephant. Don't focus so much on the elephant, but on the foil part of it. Foil, 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 foil. That's what we're doing today for this part of the goal, is the FOIL method. So I'm going to move this so it's kind of out of our way here. And maybe I'll bring it back in a little bit. But the FOIL method for multiplying binomials is the one method I really want you to know. There's a couple other methods that are similar, but FOIL should stick with you. So in words, to multiply two binomials together, find the sum of the products of the first terms, the outside terms, the inside terms, and the last terms. And that's where FOIL comes from. First, outside, inside, last. First, outside, inside, last. That's FOIL. So we're going to FOIL it. So an example here is when you have x plus 3 times x minus 2. So if you look at it here, we do the first terms, meaning we're going to multiply the first term on this side by the first term on that side. The first, that's x times x right here. Oops. Or x squared if we would find it out. Now the outside terms, so that's the O, that would be the x times the 2, or the minus 2, so that would be a minus 2, so we'd have, this is a little messed up here, sorry. We'd have negative 2, that minus 2 times the x, or negative 2x. Alright, then we do the inside, so that's the I, so we do the x times the 3, or 3 times the x, and that would be 3x. And then finally, the L stands for the last terms. We multiply the last terms together. So the last one and this one would be a 3. The last one and that one would be the negative 2. So 3 times negative 2 would get you negative 6. Alright? And then we just we add them all up. So the first, we'd have x squared minus 2x plus 3x minus 6. Which would end up getting you can combine the minus 2x and the plus 3x and get 1x. X squared plus 1x minus 6. The FOIL method. Learn the FOIL method. It'll come in handy. So we're going to do an example of that together now, and then I'm going to let you do one or two on your own. So, alright, so we've got two binomials multiplied together. Let's use that FOIL method. So, FOIL. Let's do the first. So we have 5x times 2x, which is 10x squared. FOIL, O would be outside, so the outsides would be, whoa, sorry about that. The outsides would be 5x times 1, which would be 5x. So we add 5x to that. Insides, minus 3 times 2x would be minus 6x. And then last, so minus 3 times 1 would be minus 3, or plus a negative 3. Alright, and then we can just combine these two because these are both like terms. So we end up having 10x squared minus 1x plus negative 3. FOIL method. All you got to remember is FOIL. First, outsides, insides, lasts. Alright. So, why don't you try this one on your own then? Pick at least two of them to do. And so use a FOIL method to find to simplify each one. Ready, go. Why don't you pause it now and try two of those three. All right, so for the first one, I did first outsides, insides last, and I got 3x squared plus 6x minus 4x minus 8. And when I combine the like terms, I would end up having 3x squared plus 2x minus 8. Second one, when I did the FOIL method, I got n squared minus 7n minus 3n plus 21. So if you combine the like terms, you'd have n squared minus 10n plus 21. And then finally, the last one, when I did the FOIL method again, the first outside, inside, last, I got 4p squared minus 10p plus 6p minus 15, and that simplifies to 4p squared minus 4p minus 15. All right, that is the FOIL method. It is a wonderful thing, just like this giant foiled elephant. All right, let's move on. Let's talk briefly about multiplying a trinomial by a binomial. So I have an example here. It's right here. It says 3x squared plus x minus 5. That's the trinomial, and the binomial would be 2x squared minus 7. Not going to exactly use the FOIL method, but it's not going to be too much different. It's essentially going to be like the distributive property. So I'm going to rewrite this real quick so that I have the binomial in front. I have 2x minus 7 multiplied by 3x squared plus x, or 1x, minus 5. Okay, we're essentially going to distribute each of the two parts in front to all the parts in the trinomial. So if you want to rewrite it, you can do it like this. You'd be doing 2x times the 3x squared plus x minus 5, and then we'd be doing the minus 7 times the 3x squared plus x minus 5. And then we're going to, of course, add those together at the end. So let's do that real quick. Distribute. We have 6x cubed plus 2x squared minus 10x. And then on the bottom we have, when we distribute, we have negative 21x squared minus 7x plus 35. So when we add these two together, we just add the like terms, and we end up getting, there's only one x cubed, so there's 6x cubed. There's two terms here that are x squareds. There'll be a couple with the x's as well. So then the x squared, we have negative minus 19x squared. We have minus 17x, and then we finish off with plus 35. All right. So you can treat it like that. You can take them apart and distribute, and then add the products together. Or an example here, which I'd like you to try that on your own, doing that same exact type of thing. Give you a hint here. Rearrange it first. Put the x plus 3 in front, and put the 2x squared minus 3x plus 1 in the back, and then distribute the two different parts. Okay? So here's how I'm going to do it. This time we're just going to distribute. I'm not going to take them apart. I'm just going to do this. So I got 2x cubed minus 3x squared plus 1x. I'm going to do the 3 distributed to those three parts. We've got 6x squared minus 9x plus 3. And now I can look for the like terms again. This would be alike with this one. This would be alike with this one. So simplified, we got 2x cubed. Let's see, x squares. We've got plus 3x squared minus 8x plus 3. And there's your simplified answer after you multiply the binomial by the trinomial. All right? So again, just like you're distributing the parts, okay? So we've got the FOIL method, and we've got distributing for that. So I've got one application problem. It's a bit of an application problem. It has to do with a cylinder. So let's take a look here. It says a cylinder has the dimensions shown in the diagram Which polynomial in standard form best describes the total surface area of the cylinder? So just looking at those. Surface area, you got to remember, and we haven't covered this year, but surface area, there's actually a formula. So here's a formula that I'll give you for surface area. It's 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r times the height. So the r is the radius and the h is the height. So that would be how to find the total surface area. So let's plug them in. We know the radius is x plus 1, so we have that in for the radius. And then we know the height is x plus 4, so we plug that in for the height. Now, what we can do is instead of having x plus 1 squared, we'll write it out as x plus 1 times x plus 1. And then we've got some foiling to do. So when you do the FOIL method, first outside, inside, last, for this left part right here, you'd get x squared plus 2x plus 1. And then over here, we'd end up having x squared plus 5x plus 4. And then if you look here, since these are the same factors, it's like we're pulling them out in the front, and then these two are added together. So we'd actually have that all added together. We get 2x. This is a very complex problem after you look at it. And then you distribute. So we distribute it to that trinomial. You end up getting 4 pi x squared plus 14 pi x plus 10 pi, which is letter C. So it is an application problem there. Let's just take a look at this one here, see if it's doable. Okay, this would be one very similar. I'm going to have you end actually with this one. It says a rectangle has a length of, maybe I should make this a darker color. A rectangle has a length, oh my goodness, I don't know if I can do it. There we go. Rectangle has a length of x plus 5 and a width of x plus minus 3. What is the area of the rectangle? So hint, hint, area of a rectangle equals length times width. So why don't you finish off with that one, find the area of that, and hopefully you're using the FOIL method to find that. Go ahead and do that. All right, if you pause it, here we go. I got x, length is x plus 5, width is x plus 3, or minus 3. Let's do the FOIL method. First, we've got x times x, which is x squared. Outsides, we've got x times minus 3, so it's minus 3x. Insides, we've got 5 times x, which is plus 5x. And then the last, we've got 5 times minus 3, which is minus, whoopsie-doodles, minus 15. All right, these two combine, and we end up getting x squared plus 2x minus 15 would be your area, and whatever that would be units squared. So remember, area has to do with units squared. All right, so there you go. Multiplying two binomials together. That was the big part here. Then we also talked about how you can multiply a binomial by a trinomial by distributing. So that was our goals. Take a look at those goals, see if you met them or not, or if there's something else you think you need to do to help you meet those goals. But otherwise, that's it. That's our goal. That's our learning. I hope you learned something. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Adios.